Hello, everyone. Welcome to the weekly meeting of the Phrancko Sweater Knitters. And anybody out there who wants to come join us, come feel free. You'll be hearing a lot about the Phrancko Sweater, and we can answer all your questions, or you can just sit and chat with us. So, hi, Karen.
Hi.
Hi, Judith.
Hello.
Hi, Jenny.
Hi, Frank.
Hi, William.
Hello.
Hi, Rana.
Hi, Frank.
Hi, Wally.
Hi, Frank.
Hi, Cindy.
Hi, Frank.
Oh, wow.
We missed you last week, Cindy.
Yeah, I missed you guys too. I did watch the video though. It was very fun seeing everybody. I'm glad you recorded it.
Pretty in pink.
Oh,
Thank you.
I agree. That's a stunning color on your skin, on you.
Thank you, Judith.
Judith, I love your top. Yeah. Is that
You.
crocheted project that you just finished?
That's
Gorgeous.
right.
Wow.
Really
Very
sweet.
nice.
Wow.
Beautiful.
That's
Flattering.
beautiful.
Great.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Very
Yes.
well
Lovely.
done.
Neckline. That's gorgeous.
Yes.
Mhm.
Is.
Very flattering.
Mm.
Beautifully done.
I don't know how to show the bottom part, but
Oh, there we see it. Yeah. Oh, like a
Mm,
little,
look at
like a
that.
lacy
Wow.
section.
yeah, it was
So is
a tough project for my first crochet project, but it was worth the effort.
Hey,
It's very, very lovely.
Mm, yes.
So is the neckline folded down?
Yes. Hold on. Let's see if I can.
Oh, I see. Yes,
Look
right.
at that.
Mhm.
oh, I like it.
The color is picked up, and then
Yes.
I didn't use the same stitch count, so I probably should make it either a little longer or larger to have a finished project that would please me more. But I didn't want this part to be too open neither.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I made some compromise.
It's extremely flattering on you, though.
Yeah.
It is.
It
Yeah.
fits.
It is. It is absolutely
It
gorgeous.
just looks
Yeah.
very summery
Yes.
and cool
Very-
and lovely.
Yeah, it is summery.
Very elegant. Elegant.
Thank
too,
you.
yeah.
Thank you all.
Good
Very
job,
encouraging.
Judith.
I don't know many people who would start with their first project be an entire garment like that. Not a doily or something that's really
Yeah.
small.
Well, yeah, that's the problem. Doilies didn't inspire me. I've seen so many done by my mother. I appreciated them, but never wanted to make them. And this pattern from Marie Wallen was the first that I saw and inspired me to try to crochet. I know it was rated as an intermediate, so I know I was maybe getting a little bit over my head, but decided to try, and if it didn't work, I'd make a handbag or so. But sorry,
What is the yarn? Is it a cotton linen or?
it is only cotton. It's the Mayflower. It's from Mayflower, cotton from Mayflower.
Mhm. I like the fact that it's got a good body to it.
Yeah.
It's not
Yeah.
open.
That's
much.
right. That's why I liked it too.
Yeah.
It was supposed to be crocheted in 2 pieces, flat and then seam. That's what I did. It was too large at the bust. I didn't like the way the pattern knit at the side, at the bottom. The pattern didn't work anyway. So I saw that it was possible to crochet in the round. So I started again, did it in a round. Wasn't pleased with the seam that was slanted, undid it, tried again on a small sample, figured it out, did it again. It was too small, undid it a bit. It took me a month. It took maybe over a month too, and I'm surprised that I did not leave it there, and
Give up,
I'm surprised that I finished it, that I went through all this.
Love your
I did-
perseverance.
Yeah, I didn't know I had that in me. So I've taken enough time.
Wonderful.
Would you like to see my? Well, I don't have much to show, but my
Ooh,
sleeves are
oh,
inside.
look
you
at
have
that.
quite a bit. You have quite a
Wow.
bit.
I'm
Wow.
about 6
Wow.
inches down from the row where you start working in the round.
Mhm.
I mean, where you split for the sleeves. So
Nice.
Yeah.
You've
What
been
yarn
busy.
is that?
sorry.
What yarn is that?
It's it's called sorry, Barn Swallow from Small Bird Workshop.
Oh, yeah, you showed that last week.
Very nice.
Very nice.
It's a fingering weight.
Folks were asking last week about how the sleeves, how the shoulders and the neckline and stuff would hold together on the Phrancos, and if it would really hold up without the seaming. And my daughter brought her sweater by, and I looked it up. I did it for her in November of 2020, and this is the one I called the workhorse sweater. It's Plymouth Galway. It's like a brown. And so she brought it for me to wash and kind of pick the pills off a little bit. And so I have it here. And so I'm going to hold up and you can see, and she's worn it multiple times a week for everything except for the very hottest summer. She wears it when she does the horseback lessons and the vaulting lessons and when she works with the horses. And so this is what it still is shaped like. It's still the same.
Mm.
Looks
There
like
wasn't much difference in the front and the back for the size, the way she wanted it. And so I did do a little whip stitch thing so she could easily tell in the dark when she's putting it on what's the front and the back. But it's just a standard Phrancko crew neck. It hasn't pulled out of shape. It hasn't had any problems in 2.5 years of hardware.
Wow.
Very good. That's very nice.
So for anyone that watches and is wondering, the structure of the sweater holds together really well.
Well, thank you for showing us that, Cindy.
Well, when I watched the video and then when she gave me the sweater, I'm thinking, okay, here's a perfect example. This is how it does.
Cindy, how many times has it been washed?
It's probably only been washed about 3 times. We
Mhm.
don't wash it very often. We don't wash the wool very much, Rana. She hangs it over a chair when she takes it off in the evening. Occasionally we will hang it and like over the deck outside so that it's in the shade and gets fresh air, but hardly ever washed. Once she did get the horse pooped on her, and so that one had to be washed. but usually it doesn't. It just has really worn really well. That Plymouth Galway is really a hardworking sweater, but it's not scratchy. It's done really good. And she
Isn't
just like wears a t-shirt on underneath.
Yeah. Very satisfying, huh?
Well, and it is for one that I think some of the things that you make, or even the ones that I make, it's like sometimes they only get worn a few times or only for special occasions because they really are special occasion items. And this one, she wanted it of, I'm cold at the barn. I want something warm. I want it to fit this way, have it longer in the body. So when I reach and stretch, it's not going to pull up and gape. Her arms are really long. She's a tall woman. And so I just made it exactly to her fit, and it works perfect.
What about pilling?
It did a little bit, but it's not much. I would say it maybe took me 15 or 20 minutes, and I just pick it off by hand a little bit. It didn't do, it hasn't done bad. And I've done it the 3 times that I've washed it. So, it's not been a big job. Mm-hmm.
What weight was it?
And Plymouth, it's a worsted. Plymouth Yarns Galway is a worsted. It comes in a whole bunch of different colors. It's very inexpensive.
Is it a nice yarn to work with?
It is. It was very nice.
I'm always looking for new yarn suggestions. Every time one of you mention a yarn, I go look it up real quick.
I've done probably 3 different sweaters for the kids in that yarn.
Oh.
That I did kind of a dusty rose color for one. I did a baby sweater in one, and then I've done that one in that kind of just a very earthy brown. And that was, again, at her request. I don't want it to show all the dirt or anything. I'm at the barn, Mom. I want it to be. But it hasn't. I expected it would stain after this length of time and stuff, and maybe not even be able to get stuff out. But it hasn't. Wool is so much more resilient than we give it credit for.
Yeah, wool is wonderful.
It really, really does good.
Yeah, it's great for so many things, and it holds up, and you don't have to wash it very often, usually.
No.
I finished the knitting of my first Phrancko.
Yay.
I still have all of the ends to weave in. So that's what I'm working on. And there's a slew of them.
Well, after you get done with the stuff up on the shoulders, there's not usually very many.
That's true. Just from where I've had to join a new ball. And it's all black, of course. So I'm sitting here directly with the light trying to figure out how to weave in. I do a duplicate stitch, on the wrong side.
Yeah.
And so that's what I'm working on today. And then I hope to get it on the blocking boards tonight. And so it should be done when we meet next week.
Is it short sleeve?
It's short sleeved, yeah.
Yeah.
So
Hold it up so we can see it.
Yeah, it's inside out right now, but
Oh, I see.
yeah.
That's great.
It's just
So
a
that's
simple,
like a cotton yarn.
cotton and bamboo, 50-50. Yeah.
And what is the brand?
Knit Picks. It's Knit Picks
Oh.
Shine is the yarn.
Okay.
Yeah, which I'm really happy with. I've talked about it before in here. I mean, I love the way that it feels. I hope that it washes up nicely. I, of course, haven't washed it yet, although I did wash the swatch and that seemed fine. And so we'll see what it's like to wear. I hope that it breathes really well and can be a good summer fabric.
Will, as I said, I always go look up yarn when people mention it. So I went and looked that up.
Yeah.
And the website didn't say it was bamboo. It said it was 50% modal beechwood. Modal beechwood.
That's right.
That is.
Yeah. I don't know. It's one of those synthetic fibers that they make from plant proteins.
I see.
Yeah.
And they usually do drape and flow like bamboo.
I think it behaves, yeah, I think it kind of behaves like rayon, you know?
Oh,
I think it is a kind of rayon.
Yeah. Yeah.
But it's one that's made of beechwood, where some of the other rayons, they're made of other different plant matters.
Right.
Yeah, I take it doesn't have a lot of stretch, if any.
It has a little stretch, you're right, not very much more than the cotton linen blend that I was working with. But it feels mostly like a cotton yarn.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is it just a regular plied yarn, or is it a tape or a chainette or anything?
Nope, it's a regular ply. It's, I think, 4 plies. Yeah, looks like 4 ply.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because sometimes the structure of the yarn itself can give it more, a little bit of a stretch feel,
Yeah.
or a stretch structure, depending on how that is.
Yeah, it was really nice to work with, though. Very, very soft. And I'm excited to wear it. And I'm hopeful that I like the finished fabric after I've washed it and worn it a few times.
Well, we'll be happy to hear how it works out.
Mm-hmm.
Knitpicks seems to be able to sell things at a very reasonable rate. I'm always looking for a yarn that is more accessible financially, because if you knit a sweater and you use designer dyed wool, it can be $350 just for the yarn. And I never paid $350 for a sweater, much less one that I had to make.
That's why I use Knitpicks so much. I mean, I also really like to support local yarn stores whenever I can.
Yes.
I don't have one in town, so usually it's when I'm traveling, I will shop at local yarn stores. But yeah, in terms of price, it's hard to beat.
Yeah. Knitpicks is one of the best places to get yarn. I mean, I've bought it for years.
Yeah.
Kelly's funny too. She used to have podcasts. I used to laugh about it, the way she talked. She was really cool. So, but I mean, a few weeks ago, I went to a barn knitting crafts place. Well, craft out in here in historical Long Island, and most of the yarn was dyed yarn dyers, and each skein was $35 a skein.
Yeah.
And one of the things what was brought up is that this hand dyed yarn, it fades.
Oh no.
So, why would you pay so much money to buy it and then it fades out?
Yeah.
Well, I wish Ron was here to have a comment about that, since he's
I mean, we'll have to bring it up to Ron. I mean, and one of the ladies from New Jersey, she made this very thick yarn and she hand dyed it, but she said that it fades. So I guess there's not a chemical they can put in to keep it.
Well, I think it would depend on what kind of dye they're using.
Yes.
Because like a lot of them that are done with acid dyes, which is some of what is done commercially, but even people that do the dyes, the smaller dye companies that use acid dyes, those are very color fast. And they use vinegar for the acid, is what they do. Yeah. So it would depend. Now, if they're using plant material and some of those are, well, some of them are color fast, but some of them are not.
Right.
They don't strike as well.
$35 for a skein of yarn is quite pricey. Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
The way we all knit around, we're looking for the best.
thing is about $50 worth of yarn for the whole thing.
Mm.
And that's about my price point.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
I mean, I'll go up to 100, 120 for a sweater, but $350 for a sweater is just, that's too much for me.
Well, that's one of the nice things about Knit Picks. They put the patterns out there in the book, and they'll tell you how much it costs you to make that project.
Yeah.
That's what I like about their books.
Mm.
There is a yarn shop near us in Seattle. It's called Little Knits, and they have a website, littleknits.com. I found them online when I was looking for a particular yarn. I was looking for the Cascade 220 Merino, not just the regular Cascade 220.
Oh.
And they don't come out and say it, but it seems to be that they have yarn that it's like they're different colors that are being discontinued or whatever, or something like that. But they do like whole big bags of the yarn for very inexpensive. And they have like Malabrigio and Cascade, a whole bunch of different ones of them, and kind of all that. And it's a very, very good price point. And you can get individual skeins, but also a lot of this stuff that they have it in the bag that it's 5 skeins together. And that purple yarn that I had gotten was the Cascade 220 Merino, and it was enough to do the whole cardigan for me. And it was $52. I mean, it was, because it was like at the place when you buy it like that, it's a lot of times about half what it is other places.
They're also very reliable.
They were wonderful. Jerry's gone over there to pick up stuff from them, and I've talked with them back and forth on the via email and on the phone. They're really responsive about, okay, I'm thinking about using these colors. Does this work together? Does it not? Can you send me a picture? How much of this do you have, so that I will have enough for the garment I'm making?
They check dye lots and so forth. In fact, they put out an email this morning. They usually do it about once a week, and it's a discontinued yarn that you really like or something. You can't beat the price.
It's very, very good, and I've purchased from them a few times now, and they've been great. And like I said, they're really close. Jerry, I just send Jerry over to pick it up, so I don't even have to pay shipping.
That's great.
Cindy,
see it.
Have you heard, Cindy, of this place called Skane and Tipple? It's up by Seattle. It's on one of the islands, like Whidbey. It might be Whidbey Island, and I don't
know. There is a bunch of islands.
Yeah, I know. I can never keep them straight anymore. I know Bainbridge. That's the one where Church Mouse is, I think. But
except for Church Mouse is no more.
Oh, you're kidding?
No, they don't have a brick and mortar. They still do stuff online.
Oh, I'm sorry to hear that.
So it's Skeen and Tipple?
Yeah, and it's a bar. It's a yarn shop bar.
Wow. Drinking in it, huh?
Yeah. I mean, I haven't been, but my brother told me, because he lives up there and he thought I'd be interested in it. So he sent me their website. And so I haven't been there. I don't know.
I have not heard them, and they are not part of the local yarn shop, Yarn Crawl, which I would think, if they are a bar, they would be part of the Yarn Crawl.
Yeah.
Did you all see that Stitches XRX, after 32 years of doing events, that they no longer exist now?
Yeah.
I did see a statement about that.
Yeah.
They're in bankruptcy.
Yeah.
I guess they're moving from Santa Clara to Seattle, Sacramento. Must know.
They're out of business.
Yeah.
And a lot of the vendors and teachers and some attendees have are out of a lot of money.
Oh, really?
Because of it. I feel sorry for all the indie dyers that's their main part is one of the stitches shows.
Mhm.
Yeah.
COVID did a number.
That's for sure.
Sorry to be a downer.
Well,
Well, I'm glad it was you
It's-
and not me this time.
yeah.
Rhonda.
I mean, like here in the East, a lot of the yarn shops have gotten away from Cascade Yarn because it's too far to ship.
Hmm.
So they changed over and they went to Baracco, that's in Connecticut. So so if you want to get Cascade Yarn, you got to go online to do it because they don't want to. The shops don't want to ship it because it's too much for them to buy.
Well, I do like the idea of being able to to support local.
Yeah,
I mean, I try to do that for food and stuff that we buy, and I try to support some of the local dyers and the local shops
Yeah.
too. So I could see where they would feel like they needed to do that.
I was on a Zoom call with, I can't remember her name. I want to say Melissa from A Verb for Keeping Warm in, I think they're in Albany in the Bay Area. Does that sound right, Frank?
I thought it was Oakland or Berkeley.
Or Oakland? It might be Oakland, somewhere in that area. Yeah, East Bay. And they're going to have their first ever yarn crawl in the Bay Area.
Cool.
It's going to go from, it's going to be in March. It's going to go from Marin County up to Morgan Hill, which is the San Jose area. So that's a pretty good crawl.
Wow.
But I guess they've been trying to get it together for many years, and they finally got it nailed down for the first one.
Oh, that's great.
Can you explain what is a yarn crawl? I know what yarn is. I know what crawl, but I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Question.
Sorry.
very
Maybe
good
I
question, Rana.
Maybe I can Google it up after.
I might not be the best person to explain. I just know that all the yarn stores along that strip will participate. And they give out certain perks if you come visit the store, and
Okay.
people come in from all over and they go to as many stores as they can.
Purchase yarn.
Okay.
Judy, have you ever heard of a pub crawl?
No. No.
No?
No.
That's where, if you're a drinker, that's where you go from bar to bar.
Yeah.
Call it a pub crawl.
For the yarn crawl,
Not that I would know.
no, we know you don't know, Rana. You read it in a book somewhere.
I did.
The yarn crawl here, Judith, sometimes they have it that it actually goes over, I don't know, like 5 or 6 days, and it goes all the way from Bellingham till well, just north of Olympia. So it's actually quite a ways, and there's 28 or 30 different yarn shops.
Yeah.
And each of the shops will have prepared a pattern. Usually they have a pattern for knit and a pattern for crochet that they give away free if you come to their shop.
Mm-hmm.
And then they have the yarn that you might want to do to work up their pattern. They have finished things of their pattern displayed. And they usually even have a thing where you can get an online passport, and it's like a little paper, and as you go to each one, they give you a little sticker or a little stamp. And if you go to, I think it's like if you go to 10, you can be entered for some of the prizes. If you go to 15, you can be entered for some of the prizes. And then if you go to everything, then there's a really big prize that the different stores have volunteered yarn or classes or accessories and tools and things that they give away as part of the or maybe even books as part of the prize. The yarn stores usually do each have a prize so that you can sign up in each yarn store that you visit. And then they give a prize for just all the people that visited their store. So it's a way to kind of you can get a whole bunch of patterns, see a whole bunch of people. A lot of people go together in small groups of 2 or 3 that it's like, okay, yeah, we're going to hit all 6 that are in this area. And we go and we take the day and drive around and have lunch out or whatever.
Yeah.
So that's what the yarn crawl is here.
And come home broke.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, I've said for myself when I go that I buy one thing at each store. And sometimes it is that I will just buy a pattern, or I'll just buy some stitch markers or a new little pair of scissors, or if it's really something that I see, I'll buy a skein of yarn, maybe for socks or something. But it is a way for people to get to know more of the yarn stores that are available to them locally, and they might not be right in your town, but not too far away, and that you can visit.
Yeah, ours run from Suffolk to Nassau, and usually like 150 miles.
I would say that's probably what ours is too.
Yeah.
They have it separated. Ours, they have a map online, and they have it separated into kind of like 4 different sections.
Sections and towns.
And a lot of times what we've done is, because there is one, that is just the one for all the islands, then you have to kind of go on the ferry.
Ferry back and forth.
So it's like, oh, here's the island ones. and they're very nice, but it's like that one's a little bit farther to go. So you can like do the ones that are up north, or the ones that are down south, or the ones that are more east, and then the ones along the water and on the islands. But it is a lot of fun. And I found it so interesting how different each of the stores was.
Right.
And even the ones that are closest to me, there's one that is all just locally raised, very organic, very sheepy yarns, very natural colors. And that's kind of mostly what they have. And then there's some that are like high end, what I would think of as really artsy, super bright colors, a lot of silk, a lot of like cashmere and stuff. And then there's a bunch that are just kind of more normal. The one that's closest to me that I really like, they mark all their yarn by breed of sheep.
Oh, wow.
And support a bunch of the local dyers. And so that's really nice. So if you want to, look at this yarn, I really like this one. This is Blue Face Leicester, or so you can see what it actually is, and how the different fibers are different from different animals.
Well, who has something they'd like to show us that they're working on? Somebody else? Wally, what are you working on?
I ripped the sweater out, and I'm only starting from the bottom up. So.
Oh no!
Yes, I did. So.
I thought you were so close.
I was, but it just didn't look right, so I took it out. That's fine. So, I've been mostly busy at my sister's house trying to clean it out. So. But a lot of my neighbors and my friends, they're more than happy to come over and take something. That's a good thing. And one of the people, they sent a card, and they're They're planting 25 trees around the United States in her name.
Oh,
So I
Oh,
thought that
very
was really
thoughtful.
nice. Yeah.
It's very thoughtful.
Yeah, that is,
Yeah.
she spread all over. So
Karen, what are you working on?
Okay, I'm working on a shawl by Rummy Hill, and it's got beads in it as well.
Mm.
Oh,
that's
wow.
delicate
That's
and beautiful.
nice.
Look at that.
Yeah,
That
And
lovely lace.
beads.
Do you
course.
have to string the beads on the yarn before you start?
no, you do them as you go, and she uses a teeny tiny crochet hook
Okay.
that you poke the bead, and then you grab the yarn she does it on the wrong side, but you can do it on the right side. And then you pull the bead off the crochet hook and onto the loop of
Yeah.
yarn, and then you remove the crochet hook, and then you put the loop of yarn back on the needle and work it.
Wow.
Oh,
Yeah, it's first time. And also I wanted to show you my finished baby sweater.
Oh,
that
look
turned
how
out really
cute that
good.
is.
Oh,
Looks
I
like
like
Frank
that
sweater.
pebbly color.
Say almost looks like your sweater, Frank.
Yes, it's very similar to the sweater, at least the top of the sweater I'm wearing.
So, as soon as I run into a 2-year-old that I love, I'm gonna go.
That's so
That is
cute.
darling.
Very cute.
Now I'm ready for the real thing.
We are really excited to see it.
That embroidered sweater you have on now is very pretty.
This is a cotton shirt from Mexico.
Oh, nice.
Nice and thin. It's like gauze, and
Mm.
it's pretty warm here today. So yeah.
It's rainy here.
My daughter brought it back from Mexico, and it's hand done. You can see that.
Oh, wow. Look at that.
It's all, yep.
Yep, bust.
Wow.
Wow.
Thank you.
What are you up to, Frank?
Well, I've been working on my alpine knit sweater, and I had a little bit of a hiccup. I had to undo about well, I undid what took me a day and a half to get back to.
Wow.
Oh,
Oh.
I spotlight myself.
All right.
Beautiful.
those cables are
gorgeous,
just
though, yeah.
gorgeous, Frank.
Yep.
They are
that's
just
very
beautiful.
nice.
That's gorgeous.
Yeah.
Those are
Got the-
tough to back up on.
it was a very small design error. This, after I start the pattern under the sleeves, there are 5 stitches that are purled between the last cable and this textured rib, I call it. And the first time I did it, I didn't notice there were 4 on one side and 6 on the other.
Oh,
wow.
no.
Oh,
At
no.
first I thought, that's not really going to matter. And so I kept going, and I went down about an inch below where that started. And I held it up again, and I thought, oh, it's going to bother me forever. And I just have to start over. And I had already corrected the pattern. And, you know, it's hard to make a change to a pattern that you then don't actually knit. And so I thought, well, there's 2 reasons I should tear this out and do it over. One is I won't really like the sweater so much if I don't. And the other is I really do need to work the pattern as I have written it so I can be sure that it's right.
Yeah.
So I did. And it took me a day and a half of knitting to get back to where I was. So I lost a day and a half this week. But I have figured out that I need to do about an inch a day. And I'm starting to mark where I start each day and with these
Little markers, yeah.
removable pin.
Mm.
Yeah.
In fact, I realized I should be using dental,
Dental
like
elastics, dental
elastics
elastics.
instead of
Yeah.
these
Yep,
removable.
use these little guys.
And so I did that 2 days ago, and I did from the green one to the pink one yesterday, and I did the pink one to here today. So I'm keeping up my rate of about 1 inch a day. And that means I'll finish the body around mid-June, and then I'll do the sleeves, and they'll go pretty quickly. So that will be less than another week. So I should be done with this sweater by the 3rd week of June. And it's not due until the second week in July. So I'm in good shape.
Labor of love.
Yes.
Is
And
it a real hard pattern to knit, Frank?
I am loving it. It is so much fun. I am intending or thinking of doing a video of me knitting just across the front one time. So you can see how, once you get used to doing it, how it just flows and how you can think about it as you are following. I still have to check most of the patterns, especially that center one that is.
It's a very complicated
It's a very
one.
complicated one. And if you, I've tried to do it from memory a couple of times, and I always do one of the threads crossing the wrong way. And
it's beautiful.
So I thought it would be fun to put the pattern up in one window and then have my hands in another window, and maybe
that would be
in the
cool.
corner, and then show, now here's the pattern I'm working on, and I'm going to cross this switch. This knit switch comes from the left to the right over the top. Now, that kind of thing.
Oh, that would actually be very interesting to see.
It.
This is exactly what it looks like when you do that, right?
That's right.
Frank,
My
any of
intention
these?
is to say this is doable, because people look at something like this and they think,
I know,
oh, I've
that
never
was my thing.
tackled that.
It
It looks
looks
so
like
hard. But it
Yeah.
really
too
isn't
hard.
once you get into it and you realize what you're doing, and you develop some muscle memory. And
it's critical that you can read your row below, huh?
Yes, absolutely. You must be able to know what, if the knit stitch below is a purl or a knit, and whether it was crossed over. But it's so visible. It's not hard to tell.
Right.
Are any of these cables your design?
No, they all came out of a book. I just selected the ones to put together. And
all right.
Let me get the book. It's I have 2 different publications. One is a 3-volume work that's still in German.
Oh, wow.
But this one has been translated.
Well,
Yeah.
Your nip pick swish, is it DK or worsted?
DK.
Okay.
Because I wanted it to be a little lighter for summer.
Yeah.
Let's see.
So here's the book.
Oh,
It's
wow.
called Twisted Stitch Knitting by Maria Erlbacher.
I have that and I haven't read it, but I've got it.
And
I'm gonna have to get it out and read it now.
Yeah, there you go, Cindy.
it looks like this part is transparent.
Yeah.
Oh,
But it's
wow.
not.
It's weird.
It's just green, I guess, or something.
Wow.
The patterns, she has her own way of writing patterns that look like this.
Oh my. Look at that.
Oh, that's neat.
What is that, a ribbon pattern like?
Those patterns. And then I translated them into more more familiar terms like this. I'll see if I can share my screen and show you the pattern. Let's see, first I need to take it off of that mode. Where did it go? There. Zoom, share screen. There.
Oh.
That's a more standard technique.
Yeah.
I had to translate her pattern into this to put it into
Hmm.
stitch fiddle. But every time you see a little loop, it means that stitch is twisted.
Oh,
So they're
okay.
twisted stitches. The knit stitches in these patterns are always twisted, almost always. But in
Oh,
all
wow.
I'm doing, they're all twisted. And the dots, of course, are pearls. So
Mhm.
the pearls make up the background, and the twisted stitches are the ones that are traveling. And if you pay real close attention, let's see if I can make it bigger for you. Did that get bigger?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
See right here, this is one stitch that is 3 stitches wide, and it's 2 stitches passing over a twisted stitch in the background. That little tiny
Oh,
loop
Wow.
that is the
Wow.
one that is passing over is also a twisted stitch. When it's passing over, let's see, it's these these 2 stitches passing over this one. It was purled before the crossover, but once it
Oh.
once it crossed over, it became a traveling stitch. And I keep clicking and it messes it up. Anyway, so that's what the pattern looks like after I've
Yeah.
translated them.
Hmm.
that's cool to have that little notation there. So
Yes,
you know where you are.
Stitch Fiddle is really good. They have they've had every stitch that I have wanted, I think.
Mhm.
So I love Stitch Fiddle. have used it for all of my patterns and
Hmm.
charts.
Is there a big learning curve for that program?
No, it's not at all a big curve. It's much more intuitive than the other programs that I used, Stitch
Good.
Mastery and
Well, you've been
others.
using it for years, haven't you?
I have. I started using
It's
this
very
years
logical,
ago.
though, isn't it, Frank? It's very logical.
It is.
Mm.
It's very
Yeah.
logical.
Yeah. Yeah.
So you can look at all your stitches like this. The symbols are over here.
Oh, wow.
You can add more stitches, and then you have descriptions of the stitches, and you have abbreviations for them, and it's just really handy. Now let me stop sharing so we can go back to sharing with each other.
Yeah.
I couldn't get my lighting right today. It looks like I'm very red. So I'm
Healthy,
not
healthy.
sunburned or anything. I just look, it's either the lighting or the camera or something is weird. Everybody's
Cindy
working
and
so
Jenny, are
hard.
you guys working on that knit along?
Yes, yeah, I'm doing the it's called Brush Creek is the one I'm doing. So I'll just show you. But I'm extending the length of it because Kathy had it as a crop t-shirt, and I don't like crop ones. So it's coming on down the body, so you can see the
Oh,
zigzag
how nice.
and coming down, and you've got like a zigzag
Oh,
rib at the
wow.
bottom.
Look
Yeah.
at that.
Looking great.
Yeah.
Mm.
So I've got about another 3 inches before I split for the arms. So
Terrific.
And
Is
that's a
getting there.
fingering, isn't it? Yours is a
Yes, it
fingering
is.
weight yarn. Yeah.
Yes.
Mm.
Yeah.
is
Yeah.
the zigzag done with increases and decreases or cables?
It's like mini cables.
Like mini cables. Okay.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm planning to do it too, Cindy. I was gonna do. Now, Jenny, was the pattern in fingering on that one?
No, it was in DK.
Okay, because that's what I was going to do. I was going to do that pattern and change to fingering, but I didn't want to add too many variables my first time.
But it's because so the Knitwiz site, it
calculates it
just
for you.
Yes, you just put your
Yeah.
gauge in,
Okay.
and it works it
Yeah.
all out for you. So
Okay.
and it rewrites the pattern, so you haven't got to worry about it.
Okay.
You just, yeah.
Yeah,
it just
all you
does
have
it
to do
for
is do your gauge swatch and your measurements, and it figures out the other stuff for
the
you.
rest. Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah. And I'm doing the Key West tee in the knit along with Kathy, and I'm doing these two colors here.
Oh, how nice.
Wow.
I'm doing it really kind of a color block one for my 12-year-old granddaughter.
Mm.
And so I've got that colored rib. It's called Flamingo. That was one she liked.
Mhm.
And then across the chest here is a Harris tweed stripe. There's 15 rows of the Harris tweed that she put in there. And that will also be in that color. And then I'll do the neck ribbing and the arm ribbing in the color also. So, but yeah, so
Bright and
it's
happy.
coming through. Yes. She's 12, so it's perfect. And it's the fiber company Luma is what
Luma?
Luna. Mhm. So it's cotton, linen, merino, and silk is what the yarn is. It's nice to work with.
Wow, 4 different fibers. Wow.
Let's see how much it is. What does it say? It's 50% wool, 25 cotton, 15 linen, and 10 silk.
Wow.
And it's they say it's DK, but it's I would say it's kind of like in between a DK and a worsted. Well, it's got to be DK because I'm doing it on 5/6 needles and I'm getting 22 stitches in 4 inches. So yeah, that's a
22
DK.
stitches.
Yeah, 22 in 4 inches.
Yeah, that
on
would
the size 6.
considered
So
DK.
that's DK. Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's going pretty quickly.
Nice. Beautiful colors.
Yeah, she's the one that likes the art, and this is colors that she chose. So
Well, I couldn't help but notice that the flamingo is the same color as the top you're wearing.
it kind of is. We like that color.
Well, last week there was an extended discussion about knitting with linen and that it hurts your hands, but maybe only 15% doesn't have that problem. Do you find it?
I would say for some of the linen, it depends on how much it's been washed. And one of the suggestions last week was that you actually wash the yarn before you use it or whatever. That will soften it. Every time linen is washed, it gets a little bit softer. And it continues. Linen is a very long-wearing, long-lasting fiber. It's the only fiber that I know of that's stronger when it's, or the only natural fiber that's stronger when it's wet than when it's dry. When linen is woven, you actually spray the warp on the loom as you weave it because it makes it stronger.
And when you spin it, you have to spray it.
You do.
You have to spin it with wet hand.
You have to spray it. You have to spray it, or you sit there and dip your fingers in the water.
Oh God!
And do it as you do. Yeah. But yeah, but linen will get softer and softer as you wear it, and as you wash it.
I heard that after you've worn it and you decide to wash it, and when you then block it again, that it's stiff coming off the blocking board, but all you have to do is just kind of
just wiggle it. It's just wiggle it. Yeah, just wad it up. Yeah,
and it gets all soft again.
Yeah. But it's very hard wearing and really a nice fiber. Doesn't have any stretch like wool though. So you're expecting that stretch and snap back, that doesn't happen. But it doesn't stretch and droop like cotton either.
Yeah.
Tell us the name of it one more time. Name of the yarn.
Oh, the yarn is Luma by the Fiber Company. Luma.
The Fiber.
And it's Fibre Company.
Oh. With an M, Luma.
Yes, Luma. Yeah.
Google corrected my N.
I think I said Luna and that was wrong.
Oh, nice. I'll take a look at that one too.
Frank, you're just going to have a room full of yarn.
Yes.
Well, he has a room full of sweaters. He
Yeah.
has all of his new designs all the time.
Well, we're getting near the end of the hour. Does anybody have any last words they want to share with us? Somebody has an insight they want to tell us. Come on.
An insight.
Well, I missed you all last week. It just was not Saturday without Phrancko.
Oh, isn't that nice?
Agreed.
It's yeah, my cousin's off on weekends. That's why I'm at my sister's house so she can take stuff. You know, they're all willing to help me.
Well,
So,
that's good.
Yes. I mean, my sister was a foodie. So when her husband died 6 years ago, he was a fisherman. So she got rid of everything in the garage and she made it a whole pantry.
Oh,
Wow.
So guess what I'm getting home here? Canned goods and everything else. And even in the closets in the house, she had cake mixes and rices. And she has 11 books on recipes that she put together. So I have no idea what I'm going to do. But everybody in the family keeps saying, don't forget to find that crab recipe she had, because that was the best thing she ever made. So we're looking. So
we'll be watching every week to see if you kind of like grow a little bit.
yeah, God. Well, every time I went over there, I never ate for the day because I knew I was going to get stuffed. So
oh, that's wonderful.
Yeah, it was good. So now you got to go through all the legal stuff. So yeah. I miss talking to her, but I'm all right. So
yeah.
You have lovely memories, though.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, we were 7 years apart, so I'm the younger one. So she took care of her brother. So now she's taking really good care of me. So more than I thought. So
Nice.
Well, thank you all for another wonderful time meeting together.
Good.
And
we enjoy our
so
weekends
much
here.
what you bring to the group and how you keep it rolling, and it's so nice. So I guess it's time to say goodbye, and we'll see you next week.
All right. Take it easy, Frank. Bye, everyone.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.
Bye-bye.